The way that we foresee it is that for the first time, private sector shares risks with Pemex. How does it work today? Pemex has only service contracts, which means that I will hire for hundreds of thousands of dollars an oil platform, and I have to pay them regardless if they find oil or not. And I believe there are better ways of doing business on behalf of the state, using the hydrocarbons to benefit, or our money to invest it more wisely, and